Okay, everyone, instead of a tour diary, tour log, we're going to do the Q&A. That's been on the socials. So here we all are, three of us.
Hello.
To answer some of the questions, and Ben, who is slightly out of shot, will be asking the questions. So over to you, Ben.
Okay, first one from Angelica. She wants to know, why is your drummer behind glass? Or it's actually perspex, but Jason, why is Scott in a bulletproof cage?
We'll give the serious answer. It's for the benefit of the sound engineer mostly, and the sound generally in the auditorium. It just makes it easier to mix the drum sound front of house, and the drums don't overpower everything else.
Yeah, it stops them getting on the microphone.
Especially mine at the front, it goes right in there.
It's a question that a lot of people wonder.
Yeah.
So it's nice to clear it up.
Many answers we could give.
Yeah.
More entertaining.
You, my son.
Made that one up well.
This is the obvious one. We'll go around for all three of you. What's your favourite song to sing or play? We'll start with Rich.
My favourite is Protera. Just because I remember very much vividly being on a weekend on a boat in Loch Ness, and I'd had that album. I was with Glenn on percussion. It's his stag weekend, and I'd never heard it before. They put on this album, and that song came on. It just blew me away, and Bruce's vocal is just outstanding on it. It's just, and it's fresh. It was fresh and new at the time. It still is. Still my favourite.
Chase?
My favourite Runrig song changes on a daily basis. I love all the eras of Runrig, but I think my favourite to play live is probably Sky, which also comes from the Heartland album, which really is the album that I first got into Runrig as a kid with. So it's a lot of memories, and it's a lot of fun to play.
My personal favourite isn't because I am doing the singing, which I'll never be a Donny or a Bruce, is Alapa, because I think it keeps the Gaelic element. We've got in our set, we've got a few Gaelic songs in our set, but it keeps that element. So really, in Gaelic, Alapa is obviously Scotland thing. It's a very emotive message of country and love of country, but it's also really fun, and the audience love the things that Runrig introduced, all that hand movement, and they've been right up for it this tour. So from when I'm sitting, doing my best to give it the emotion, I'm just filled with love that comes back, and the smiles that people give it. So that's become my favourite. But I'm a bit like Jason, where
Changes.
it changes. Yeah, there's so many. It's so difficult for you guys.
The story is becoming different as well.
Yeah. So I would go for Alaba.
We'll start with you on this one then, Don. Samantha Robertson, wants to know, salt or sauce?
Ooh, now that's an interesting, very. For those that are wondering what that question is, that's to do with Edinburgh. And I lived in Edinburgh for 10 years, and it's to do with salt and vinegar on your chips, or salt and sauce. And because of the Edinburgh legacy for me, I'm going to go salt and sauce, personally. But that would be my shout. I think you're probably on that side, are you, Jason?
It's always been salt and vinegar.
Hang on. The question is salt or sauce?
It should be vinegar or sauce, really, I guess, because you always have salt. But your choice is salt and vinegar, or salt and sauce.
I'm not sure. You get to decide the questions, fellas.
Sorry, so salt or sauce?
Salt or sauce?
Oh, sorry, Samantha.
You can only have one.
I'm going to go for sauce.
Yeah.
Interesting. Don? Jason?
Salt and vinegar.
For me, being from Edinburgh, I didn't even know there was vinegar till I moved to England.
Is that right?
I was like, what are you doing? Putting that on your chip.
So again, you have to pick one though. I was pushed.
Oh, sauce. Without a doubt.
I'm sure that's answered the question.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Deborah Blake asks, how long have you been Runrig fans for, and when did you first see them in concert? And we'll start with Jason.
Okay, I've been a Runrig fan almost as long as I can remember. There was always Runrig music around as a young kid. I really got into them, as I say, when I was a teenager, and Heartland came out. And it was on the Heartland tour that I first saw them, and I think it was 1985 or thereabouts.
Which, just for the record, was the year after I was born, fella.
You've been cutting that bit out though.
It was in the Caberfay Hotel in Stornoway, and it was they played on the same day. They played two shows, an under 18s followed by an over 18s in the evening, and I was at the under 18s one.
Wow. Rich?
I think I was probably about 12 or 13. I hadn't really heard of Runrig until Glenn he was massively into Runrig, and he sort of played it a lot. I think it was was it the Usher Hall? It was Edinburgh. It was a venue in Edinburgh. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it just blew me away from that moment.
Well, for me, coming from Sky, Runrig were the kind of fabric of me growing up. So the first time I saw them live would have been at a dance in the Sky Gallery, and I think it's actually at my prefect's dinner dance
Wow.
in Portree. So how special is that?
That's like a trump card. Just
Yeah,
throw it in
there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Beat that.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, therefore I was there first.
Graham John Weston asks, and I love this question, what is your personal favourite Runrig song that you so far haven't played live in the band?
Oh, that's
I'm
Wish we
gonna-
had a
that's
dance.
I did say. No.
Can I start this one?
Yes, make it long.
I really like Canada.
You did say that. in the very start.
Yeah, and it's really to do with, I don't know if he's watching this, there's a friend of mine who's a huge Riggy, and he said, oh, you got to do Canada. I thought, good shout. So that would be my top into.
I'm going to go Big Sky.
Yeah, great tune.
Yeah, I love Big Sky, and I think it would be great fun to play as well.
Rich?
Big Sky would be one that's on that. Is on the list.
Yeah.
But there's a song by Runrig called One Thing, but it's one that Bruce wrote with Malcolm. It's an acoustic one, and that's on my list to do.
Like it. Cool.
Good question.
Yeah.
Great question.
Very good.
Let's have a look what else.
Not as
we've
good
got
as
on
Salt.
here. Anders asks, is it right that you've got Bruce Guthrow's guitar, Richie?
I do. Would you like to know?
Yeah, tell us the short version of the story.
It came around that Duncan knew that Runrig were looking to sort of put the guitars to some people, and he let me know, and I was under. I think my words were, I must get that guitar.
Yeah.
I don't really care what it costs. I have to have that guitar, because in that guitar is just 20, 25 years of just pure history. And I mean that was before we even knew Bruce was ill, but now, goodness me, it's just to have that on the stage with us is such a incredible thing to have.
I
And
get goosebumps just when I sneakily play it when you're not
I
there.
did, as I say, you could.
I know.
I have to say, it's the most excited I've seen you. I've seen you excited when you enjoy the shows, but when that kind of opportunity was
It's,
to present
I
itself.
remember I
like-
spoke to, and Rory said he's glad it's going out to play the songs that have been played on it.
Yeah.
So it's in its right place, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
Andy Hecker asks, when are you coming back to Krefeld, which is obviously one of the venues out here in Germany? There's loads of those. Will you come to this place, that place, and what have you? We're working on it, everybody. Especially Yorkshire and down the southwest. There's a lot of demand. We've got things in the pipeline, so just bear with us. Crazy question from Dougie. Will Richie sneak in a Proclaimers tune right at the very end as folk are leaving?
Shuggy.
If I could please ask that Dougie doesn't get tickets for any future gigs, that would be.
You've seen Shuggy down the front.
I have.
Shuggy Dougie, my pal.
Many times.
He's brilliant.
He's a big fan. He would walk
2 nights
He
in
would
Nottingham.
have got 500 miles for me, and I would for him.
This is a really good question from Graham, who's a friend of ours, become a friend of ours since we put the band together. And he asked, how do you put together a set list from such an amazing backlog of back catalogue, of songs? How does that work?
We do discuss it quite a lot, don't we?
We discuss it, we suggest things, and then you dismiss them. No, there's a little bit of democracy, but basically I think Richie's the man in charge of the set list. And I've got to say, I'm glad it's not me, because it's an unenviable task.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Like that first gig, to trim it down to 20 something.
Yeah.
It was. I still think I've got it wrong. Like, I think it's great, but there's still stuff that I just think, oh, I'd love to. It will come.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of time to.
And
get
for the
involved.
record, any changes that Richie wishes to do to the set list, he goes over and over in his mind often, because you don't want to lose any, and you want to.
I don't want to drop any songs.
Yeah.
Rich, talk us rather than specific songs. Talk us through the thought process of what goes into crafting a set list.
All right, okay. Well, for starters, when you come out, it's got to immediately move people with power, with the raw emotions of songs, and you want to take them on that ride straight away, 3-4 songs in, and then you want to bring it down, get some gentle stuff in, and interesting things, so like the drum and guitar things, it changes the whole dynamic of the set, and you have a bit of a chat and reminisce on things, and yeah, it's a bit like it's up and down, but when you get to the start of the second set, there's only one way, and it is that way, right to the end, and then it's got to be.
It's good to have so many absolute bangers that you
that second set is
Yeah,
it's exciting when you get over the second, not excited, but the second you're like, we almost don't need to do anything but play this, they just take care of themselves because they're just so good.
Stuart's, there's always one that asks this question, and I'm not going to ask you to answer this, but just offer a comment on it. The Munro or Guthrow era, and if I can jump in on this, I think we're keen not to get drawn into conversations about this, because for us this is about the songs, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's never been about any individual. It's about the remarkable nature of Runrig's songs and how they've become intrinsically part of people's lives, and who's singing them is, in the context of this band, largely irrelevant. For us, it's just about these incredible songs. So we're not even going to answer that one, I'm afraid, Stuart. We have our moments, and who was singing is, to us, I think, largely irrelevant. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, that's what I've realised, is the songs are so incredibly powerful. Embedded with so much emotion for so many people in every country we play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've both got incredible voices. They're both incredible.
I regularly listen to the back catalogue. All of it. All of the albums. So.
We'll find the last song, which we need to get ready and get changed in a minute. You're ever coming to Lanark? Fancy play down here in Wales? I don't know about Wales. We've never.
The odd Celts.
Never had any offers though from Wales.
Wales, come on.
Yeah, you doing?
The young percussionist is great. Big future ahead. What's his name? Do you want to tell us about the percussion, Rob? Because the eagle-eyed fan will know that percussion changes a little bit.
Well, the reason, when it first started, we needed to get someone, and my friend Glenn, the biggest Runrig fan, I'm throwing it out there, and anyone can say if they're bigger, but I think he'll struggle. He was my drummer in my band in Scotland. He lives in America, and he flew over and did the first 2 tours, was it?
2 tours, yeah.
And then obviously it's very expensive for him to do that, and job-wise, holiday-wise, so we had to find some other percussionists, and goodness me, we found some great guys. So there's been Tim, there's been Mike, and the current one we've got at the moment is Ethan, who is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal drummer. Was he 21 or something like that?
20.
But Glenn is coming back in May, so that, and then I think we've got Tim on some, we've got Mike,
Ethan again.
Ethan's back, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's great to have the different people on.
Okay. Everybody happy?
Very.
I hope that's illuminated some of you with any questions, but keep them coming. It's always interesting to hear what people think, and we're going to keep on enjoying singing Runrig songs, if that's okay with you.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.